Beautiful morning, and of course it's Thursday on the bumper breakfast. We're glad to be here with you this great morning. How are you all doing? Hope you woke up on the right side of your minds and you're ready for the day's work. Of course, bumper breakfast Monday all the way through Friday. We usually take a look at the papers and of course some of the stories that made the front page. My name is Uluwato Missing, and always a pleasure being here with you. When I'm not here, I tell you, I do miss you guys a whole lot. But let me run through the stories in the papers this morning because we have a full house and we have gentlemen in the studio who will be sharing their perspective to certain issues with us this morning. Let me begin with the Guardian newspaper this morning. On hydro refineries, workers earn 136 billion naira amid $3 billion upgrade cost. Community leaders lament local content violation, 2 million naira bribe per job slot. NNPC silent as stakeholders raise concerns over profitability and the refinery project. MTN kicks off 5G pilot in Nigeria, targets commercial launch in 7 cities. Despite crisis, IU meets governorship candidates, boasts of PDP's victory in 2023. Troops destroy Boko Haram market in Borno, kill 6. Why insecurity increased in second quarter of 2022 by group. Lagos residents lament use of Korokwe by kidnappers and robbers. BEDC faults Malami's alleged opinion on expiration of court orders. The Punch newspaper comes up next, and you have UK meeting. PDP worries over Wike. NWC meets governorship candidate. Wike making PDP's efforts to liberate Nigerians difficult, says BOT member. Events worrisome. Wike's interests cannot supersede parties. McCarthy, chairman. When Wike speaks, Rivers people listen. Aid, replies ex-governor Lamido. And you have Wadume military panel clears 10 soldiers. Balarabe promoted. OML 128 Shell ExxonMobil end lawsuits against NNPC. Forex inflows dropped 17% to $6.6 billion. Don't elect incompetent leaders, Sanusi tells Nigerians. This goes raking 777 billion naira from 110.2 million electricity consumers. Strike, no end in sight. State varsities insist. Lagos lawyer arraigned for trafficking 11-year-old girl. Lagos logistics hub to boost 5 trillion naira food markets. Right, stories on the front page of the Punch newspaper. I move quickly to the Nigerian Tribune. The Nigerian Tribune begins with the PDP story as well. Wike tackles Lamido, accuses him of cracking wall of unity in PDP. Pastor, 9 church members arrested for killing Oro worshipper in Lagos. Federal government says Abuja Kaduna train service not commencing. FEC OK 718 million naira for FCT rail line security. Pandef to Northern youths, don't provoke crisis in Niger Delta over surveillance contract to Tompolo. World Bank, US Exim Bank commits 3 billion naira to Nigeria's energy transition plan. An EFCC arrests NDDC finance director over alleged 25 billion naira fraud. Secures conviction of 40 suspected internet fraudsters in Ibadan. So all the flags of construction of food security logistics park in Ekpe. I will only support APC candidates. There are no Villa candidates. Buhari talks. ASU meets Guba candidates. Target 25 governorship seats. ASU heading for indefinite strike. Demands fresh negotiation committee. Wants Buhari to take charge. Muslim ticket. Dugara Babachi meet IBB Abdusalam. All right, we have the Nation newspaper coming up next, and the last paper we're taking a look at this morning, 2023. My support is for APC candidates only, says Buhari. Ex-members contesting in other parties are on their own. Aggrieved APC senators shelved defection plan. Knowledge, vision, courage stand Tinubu out. MTN begins trial 5G. Lagos inaugurates agricultural food hub. Akpata, looting of materials at NBA conference shameful. Federal government urges Canada to relax visa conditions and excess crude account grows by 93,000. $944 in 30 days. I'm not sure if that is even anything to celebrate. ICPC Chair slam judiciary for enabling corruption. Falano Ozekome urged judges to be courageous. Lamido lacks electoral value, says Wike's aide. Aggrieved governorship candidate besiege PDP leadership. World Bank US commit $3 billion to Nigeria's energy transition plan as ex-Union VC. 5 professors inaugurated as committee members for Ilesha Varsity. My town is about to get a uni, my town is about to get a uni, my town is about to get a uni, my town is about to get a uni. So yes, when Elisha gets a uni, and then some of us just, okay, what will we do? Our alma mater is still our alma mater. Anyway, there's a train of prestige for Elisha Town to have its own university. I mean, there are so many institutions in Osho State. I think the only business they actually do in Osho State is education, private education. But it's interesting. All right, we'll take a break right now. When we come back from this break, we definitely will be introducing our guests and we'll be talking about the stories in the papers today.
All I do is win. I wake up, I win. I close my eyes, and I win.
We got an emergency, girlfriend.
Keep up with me, come on, let's all keep winning till the world stops spinning. Independent women, come on, now let's get in. I'ma keep winning till the world stops.
Wow, you look great. Did you just come from the salon?
Darling Superstar, grades that stay salon fresh no matter what.
Music is fuel that fires up our souls. Today, African music has a dominant place on the world map. This massive music movement creating waves across the globe.
I have seen the evolution and the growth of this industry.
But every movement starts with a story. And the best place to start any story is at the very beginning.
There's a primordial energy that can only have come from Africa.
Do you have continuity or association plan for your business?
Has anyone shared the concept of sustainability with you?
What about the need to protect the rights of minority shareholders?
What are those ingredients germane to having effective meetings?
For these and many more, tune into Corporate Governance Platform every Thursday on MITV, your darling station, on DSTV 255 and UHF 43 at 4:30 p.m.
Corporate Governance Platform is your best medium for informative and educative strategies for the practice of the corporate governance profession.
Institute of Chartered Secretaries and Administrators of Nigeria, ICSAN, the hub of governance professionals.
Welcome back to the Bumper Breakfast. Of course, joining the Bumper Breakfast Thursday table, we have Mr. Jonathan Nwoke, who is an educationist and a public affairs analyst. Good morning. Good to have you here.
Good morning. Pleased to be here.
And of course, Mr. Akin Fatunke joins us again this morning. Another educationist, because he's a tutor who teaches at the tertiary level, professional level, let me put it like that. And he's a tax practitioner. He's an auditor by profession. He's a chartered accountant, one of the fellows of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria. Good morning.
Good morning, Tobin Singh. Good morning, Jonathan, and good morning, Nigerians. Thanks for having me here.
It's always a pleasure hosting gentlemen on the show this morning, and I hope they're going to be gentle because I want to begin with something that will definitely, ruffle the feathers a little bit. Refineries, in the last couple of years, we've talked about it again and again. As a matter of fact, in the last 1 year, Nigeria has spent close to 1.5 billion naira on, rehabilitation of refineries, especially those at the Port Harcourt end, and I think the one in Warri, and about $1.4 billion. And I'm talking in dollars here, $1.5 billion on rehabilitating a refinery, and that's of Kaduna and Warri, about $1.4 billion. Now put together, Port Harcourt alone, $1.5 billion. Warri and Kaduna, $1.4 billion just to rehabilitate. Now, it's interesting that the workers in those idle refineries earn as much as 136 billion naira in terms of salaries accrued to them over the years. So Nigeria is not producing oil, but our refineries are there and their staff are being paid on a monthly basis, like every other staff of the government. In January 2021, the operational deficit was about 5.371 billion naira. February, another 6.879 billion. March, 3.866. April, 3.544. In May, 5.243. In June, 4.014. In July, 3.75. In August, 3.819. That's January 2021 to August. That's 8 months, just about 8 months, last exactly a year ago. That is what was recorded as operational deficit. On the average, NNPC spends about plus or minus 68 billion naira in paying salaries and other expenses at the moribund refineries yearly. So in the last 2 years, what it means is the total amount of money that has been paid between 2020 and 2021 till date is about 136 billion naira. My question is, we're spending that much money on paying the workers at the refinery, and yet we say Nigeria is not producing anything.
Yeah, though I'm not an expert in oil industry, but common sense demands that what is happening at that moment is not palatable.
Because you're a business owner.
Yes, for a country that is not producing oil, spending that much on salaries and other costs is a pure wastage. Nigeria has that penchant for wastage. What stops our leaders or those at the helm of affairs to find a solution to the problem of these moribund refineries? If they are not functioning, if they are not repairable, we scrap them and get new ones so that we can save some money. Instead of year in, year out, we spend a lot of money on repairing irreparable refineries, and there are a lot of loopholes where some individuals could also be making the nation through those provisions. Because I can't see the sensibility or the right decision in government keeping refineries that are not functioning.
Jonathan, I want to take a break. When we come back from this break, we want to talk more, because I'm concerned more about how business is being run at the refinery, especially the fact that the petroleum bill has just been signed. The PIB has been signed, and NNPC is apparently supposed to be running as a company. I don't see shareholders, running their business like that, paying salaries and not to staff who are not working. And they're not working through any fault of theirs. There's nothing to work on. That's basically the truth.
That's the government.
Let's take a break. When we come back, we will definitely talk some more.
This is your radio. This is your radio.
Star FM 101.5 gives you the best of music, news, talk, entertainment, and sports like never before. We give you incisive news every hour, quality music, and sports all day round. Listen to the most entertaining, creative morning show on radio as Star FM gives you top newspaper review, headlines about politics, business, crime, events, and entertainment stories between 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. daily. Our midday show gives you classic, up-tempo, and contemporary urban music to start your day and get you energized. Between 10 to 12 noon daily, we serve it fresh. Now, take your lunch with us on Lunch Hour Show between 12 noon and 2 p.m. as we pack you with good mix of music loaded with interactive live chart, comedy, game shows, and current events. Our word of sport on Star FM comes on daily at the 5 o'clock hour, 6 o'clock hour, and 10 o'clock hour daily on Star. Our evening belt showcase a mix of urban music, oldies laced with big jokes, talent on shows, and relationships. You don't want to miss is the PM Crew. And round up your day with us on Body and Soul, 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. daily with the very best of rhythm and blues, cool music to take you to Wonderland. Join us daily as we give you the very best of music, news, sports, talk, and all-round entertainment. Star FM 101.5, entertaining you all the time. Star FM, your favorite radio station. Star FM on DSTV 869.
BMA Entertainment.
Yeah, you are always on my mind, and I love you, no be lie. If not lie, make a buy. Yeah, you are always on my mind, and I love you, no be lie. If not lie, make a buy. Make water carry me good. Water carry me good. Make water carry me good. Water carry me good. Make water carry me good.
Emma Tajumana, Nace, Unkale Numana, Genkia Wuce Atawa, Kete Kowa Ke Shawa, Kisuni Kikarayan, Tadja, I think I yo say Chandra, Denina Yellow Vaya, Ansanha Asutia, Somasaka Dunia, Komeki so Zambia, Zengara Miki Sutia, Vake Barika Mutia, when the Shide Gaskia, Kawai, Allah Ne Yahore, Kawai Gaxiki Kimore, Kawai Sekiti Kiki Hole, Kawai Spada Kunspole.
Yeah, you are always on my mind, and I love you, no be lie. If not lie, make a buy. Yeah, you are always on my mind, and I love you, no be lie. If not lie, make a buy. Make water carry me good. Water carry me good. Make water carry me good. Water carry me good. Make water carry me good. Kin satan zuciyata kuma ke ɗaya ce a mata. Ai dole in baki gata, zaɓi na mahaifiyata. I can't do anything without you. You blew my mind. Ke ce zaɓin zuciyata.
Haka ba ma ƙaryan aski, kan ki furta ni na yi miki ga 1 miliyan kuɗin man cikin ki, 10 miliyan kuɗin shiga biki. Ba ke babu ƙaranci, hamka ce ta mutunci. First class fokon aji a gida na ni ba
Water carry me good. Water carry me good. Make water carry me good. Water carry me good. Make water.
Welcome back to the Bumper Breakfast. Yes, we were talking with Jonathan just before we took that break, and my concern really is how business is run. I'm just one. You see, in my heart of heart, I threw this question to you because you're a businessman, and I absolutely did not see you a businessman, allowing things to run like that in a refinery. What would you have done? Since we know that our refineries have been moribund for as long as we can remember, what would you have done?
Okay. As a businessman, if one finds out that the refineries are not functioning optimally, what one has to do is to find a way out of the woods by finding a solution to the ailing refineries and to ensure that the refineries come back to life again. Where that is not possible, what one has to look into is other ways of reducing the costs of running business. Either we take the bull by the horn by building new refineries, so that we will put the refineries back to their normal fits. So
which would now bring me to building a new refinery. If we know that refineries are not working, or cannot work, Mr. Fasuke, you have been in that, whether it's downstream or upstream or whatever stream it is right now sector. The question is, are those refineries incapable of working?
Thank you very much, Tommy Singh.
And mind you, people, you may be wondering what we're talking about. We're talking about the downstream oil sector. And the question this morning is, the idle refineries gulp about 136 billion naira in worker salaries.
Again, my apologies earlier.
Yes.
Let me say here and now that there is so much misinformation, misunderstanding on how business run, even amongst our people. People are angry, people do not trust, which is one of the key planks, and people also lie to themselves. Authorities lie to us, we lie to them, and then we continue to march on the same spots. It would have been easy if the spot you are marching on is confirmed ground. In the case of Nigeria, we are marching on marshland. What happens? You sink further. In the first place, there is a lot of economics that comes into operating business generally, including the refinery. What has happened basically is that Nigeria as an entity has refused to plant when we had rainfall in adequate quantity, when we had sunshine in adequate quantity, when we had men and material in adequate quantity yesterday.
So basically you're saying that like the proverbial story in the Bible of Joseph and Egypt and the Pharaoh, we had years of plenty.
When we had the capacity to plan, take right decisions, make right choices, we refused to do that. Yes, we deliberately refused to do that and went backwards. And if you are supposed to be making an acceleration forward and you went backward, wherever you find yourself, it's where you find yourself, failure. For me, the refineries are not working because of corruption. Everybody knows that. The refineries are not working because we have policy makers who are only interested, in prependal propensities. We have refineries that are not working because we saw them as national assets. So this is our own tiwa, and just go in there, cut it to pieces, and take whatever it is that you need to take. And we didn't have the courage to have leaders to take very hard decisions. Hard decisions in terms of, in the first place, we have some of the refineries, it's one of the refineries that's located far north.
Kaduna.
On what on what grounds will you want to do that? And so you decide that you're going to lay
no, are you saying
pipelines
that all the way there?
No. Just one of those bad decisions we've taken. Now, if you found that you had...
Please, Mr. Fatuke, let us clarify, because I think this government has been so abused and so bombarded with a lot of negativity. Did they take this decision? Is it this current administration that took this decision you call a bad decision?
I am seeing government as a continuum. Clearly, this government in the past 8 years is taking a baton of wrong decisions that have been made, but they came with a mantra of change. Unfortunately, they took the baton, and rather than face forward, they too decide to run backward. So that is number one. Then number two, I can tell you for free as a practitioner that those refineries that we have right now are sitting on a bed of oil. What does that mean? It means remediation over time needs to have taken place. We have virtually what you would like to describe as a carcass. When you have a carcass, you take a decision and say, hey, wait a minute, this is not working, we need to, rather than see all those numbers that you have.
So rather than spending $1.5 billion refurbishing